Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice and it's by user Throwaway Longshot Frey. My 27 male fiance, 29 female, was accused by her friend and maid of honor, 29 female, of stepping out on me. My fiance claims she's trying to sabotage our relationship. I'm lost and questioning everything. How do I move forward? My 27 male relationship with my fiance, 29 female, has kinda blown up. I never felt this unsure in our relationship. I'm in need of outside perspectives. For context, we're college sweethearts. For orientation, I was touring campus and she was my group's tour guide. That's how we met. She's my first love and best friend. Now, we're in the height of wedding planning. About a couple of years ago, we had a rough patch with her shutting down and pushing me away. She wanted to take a break so she could find herself again. I don't believe in breaks. I wanted to work through it together, but her mind was made, so I agreed. We established boundaries for the break. We wouldn't see other people and we were to have checkups about where we were emotionally. The goal was to reinforce our foundation. The break was only a month. We bounced back stronger, but it's still a sore spot. The break was the most distant we'd ever been, and the experience highlighted why I'm against it. Recently, my fiance had a bad falling out with a mutual friend or maid of honor, 29 female, who I'll call Jaws for clarity. Some nasty stuff was said, and Jaws accused my fiance of being a bridezilla and an even worse friend. I hoped the rift between them would mend because they were close for a long time. They were like sisters. But my fiance kicked Jaws out of the wedding and uninvited her. The damage seemed to be done for both. The other day, Jaws reached out to me and said that my fiance wasn't being completely truthful. She revealed not only did my fiance see other guys during the break, but also hooked up with someone on their annual's girls trip. She gave me the guy's name, but I don't know who he is. On the trip, my fiance group linked with another group they clicked with. Joss said it was clear the guy had an eye for my fiance, and eventually she and he began wandering off. My fiance ignored Joss's attempts at talking her down. It was a lot to take in. My initial instinct was to shut Jaws down. Up until this point, I trusted my fiance fully, but I couldn't overlook how much Jaws' account matched my doubts from back then. Like I said, we were the most distant during our break. It wasn't on my part. There were times she was AWOL on our checkups. During the girls' trip that fell on our break, she went radio silent in a way she wasn't on previous trips. There was truth to linking up with another group because my fiance told me about it. She's still casually in touch with some of them. But right after the trip, she was gung-ho on calling the break off, how it was a mistake and that she was in a better headspace. Joss claimed this was part of their falling out. She was pushing my fiance to come clean with me before the wedding. She felt I deserved to know and wished she would have said something sooner. I didn't say much. I was too numb to really feel anything. I initially didn't confront my fiance. I was trying to process, but she could tell something was wrong and kept asking. When I did confront her, she was a whirlwind of emotions. She mostly ranted about Joss, but I told her this was her chance to tell her own story. She asked if I'd hear her out. I promised I would. She confessed to seeing other guys during the break, but claims nothing happened. She also denies ever hooking up with anyone on the trip. I asked her why Joss would tell the truth about her seeing other guys, which alone thoroughly broke our boundaries, but make up an elaborate lie about her cheating on the trip. She insists Jaws is trying to sabotage our relationship. She said the other guys meant nothing. They never do. And I'm the one she was in love with. Of course you are. It was like she wanted me to be grateful for choosing me. She promised to do anything to regain my trust. She said we're starting our lives together and I shouldn't let Jaws come between us. I wasn't very receptive to her. We fought and I told her I needed to think. Ever since, she's been pouring on so much affection. She still swears she never hooked up with anyone on the girls' trip and that Joss is trying to sabotage. But I can't shake the possibility that Joss is telling the truth. All of this has blown up while we're in the middle of wedding planning. Invites already delivered, venue booked, catering being arranged, suits, dresses, everything. I feel so numb. I'm in love with my fiancée. She's my best friend. It feels wrong to doubt her, but I'm questioning everything, even myself. I don't know what to believe anymore. I feel like an idiot. How do I move forward for myself and my relationship? OP, you trusted your gut, and that clarity matters more than any apology. My guess is that she wanted to see what she was missing out on, as you told us, so she manufactured this break to, quote-unquote, find herself. But unless she lost herself in some other guy's bed, then I don't know what she was doing in it. And sure, okay, that last bit is based on what Joss said. But your fiancé still confessed to hanging out with other guys, something that you had agreed not to. And when she was done with it, she wanted to be back with you because taking a break was a huge mistake. OP, she crossed boundaries. She hid the truth and only confessed under pressure. That's not growth, that's just manipulation. Whether or not she hooked up on that trip, as I said, she already broke the deal. Her attention wasn't on you and she wanted to keep it hidden. OP, if I was in your shoes, I would walk away because she's showing you who she really is. The wedding can be cancelled. The money lost is cheaper than the cost of a lifetime spent wondering when the next lie will drop. Accountability isn't cruel, it's clarity. You're not choosing drama, you're choosing dignity. And the bottom line is, OP, that you don't owe her anything, you just owe yourself peace. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Wishing for a rainy day says, I was prepared to call out the friend for being jealous, but after reading it all, I think she's telling the truth. I think your fiancé is trickling out the truth to you. She's only telling you what she thinks you will forgive. She's lied and then realized she had to tell you a little bit. She's been lying since she got back together. Contact the other women that went on that trip and ask them as well. Check your phone for the messages between the group at that time. Get tested. And Dopey responds, I'm considering reaching out to the other women. I don't know how open they'll be about it. I get along with them, but they're more of my fiancé's friends and they've largely stayed out of the falling out. Stunning Thought 785 says, sorry dude, Joss sounds like she isn't trying to sabotage your relationship. I am not sure what motivation she would have to do that. Your fiancé took your month-long break to F other guys. If you can get past that, go for it. If not, you need to get the ring back and move on. Fluffcat04 says, quote, we established boundaries for the break. We wouldn't see other people, end quote. That's all you need to know. You established a boundary, she broke it. Whether she actually slept with someone or not, you need to decide if you can forgive that she's lied to you for years. Essentially, she withheld information in order to get back together with you and did not give you all the facts so that you could make an informed decision on whether or not that was something you wanted to do. And EMCCM says, I read up until your break. You say you don't believe in them, but yet you went on one and then got back together. When people ask for breaks, it's always to see if they can do better. They'll dress it up, but that's what it boils down to. You're too young for all this BS. Break up, figure out who you are, and build the life you want to live. Well, the community agrees that OP should just move on. So how about we move on to the update to see how this story ends. Thank you to everyone who reached out. It helped give me, 27 male, much needed perspective. I wanted to give an update. I wanted a fuller picture before making a decision on anything with my fiancée, 29 female. I knew her friends and bridesmaids would be a lost cause. I get along with them, but they're more of my fiancé's friends and their group runs deep. They weren't going to talk at the expense of my fiancé. I asked Joss, 29 female, for more information and for evidence to her claims about my fiancé hooking up with someone on their girls' trip. She said my fiancé avoided talking about that particular trip, especially over text. Most of her arguments were in person, but she showed me texts from shortly after the trip where my fiancé confirmed hooking up with the guy. She texted how it's in her rear view mirror and she doesn't need a lecture about the past. She's focusing on the future. I knew the possibility, and my fiancé already confessed to seeing other guys during our break. But I don't know, seeing those texts made it real in a way it wasn't before. In the texts, she expressed regret, but it didn't make me feel better. I confronted my fiancé and I knew immediately by the look on her face, she came clean on everything. She thought Jaws deleted the texts. Around the break, we were having serious talks about marriage. She started worrying she was missing out on stuff her single friends were engaging in. During the break, she sought validation from other guys and fooled around with that guy on the girls' trip. In her own words, she had a temporary high when he chased her, but felt worse after her self-post hookup. She claims the break showed her what was important and that she wasn't missing out on anything. She was reassured we were right for each other. I hardly said anything to her. I mostly just listened. I was too numb for much else. She kept asking me to say something, but what was there for me to say? I felt her actions spoke enough for us both. She kept apologizing for stepping out. When I asked her why she wasn't upfront with me, she said she didn't want to lose me over her biggest mistake. Her position that Jaws isn't being noble hasn't changed. I told her Jaws' motive doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. She asked if I could find it in myself to move past this. Please say no. She said she loves me and she's fully committed. I couldn't tell her what she wanted. I said it was best the wedding be put off and I needed space to sort my feelings. She was against postponing and proclaimed this didn't have to define us and she's still the same woman I wanted to marry. She asked me not to give up on us, but the same way her mind was made about the break, my mind was made on postponing. It wasn't a choice. It wasn't so much a fight, more putting everything out there. She cried a lot. She rarely cries. It felt wrong to leave her crying. My first instinct was to comfort her, but I was too broken to fake it. I've been hurt before, but she hurt me in a way only she could. I know postponing the wedding is for the best. The reason why I didn't call it off entirely is because I'm way too much in my emotions right now. Hurt, anger, sadness, and somehow numbness. At all possible, I tried to avoid making decisions lost in emotion. I need to clear my head. I was so sure of my course and our relationship. My fiancée was my partner in every sense. She was who I wanted to make a life with. Sometimes she'd act so superior about our relationship compared to those of her friends. I feel so stupid. She says she's still the same person I love, but the fact is she had a secret life I knew nothing about. I'm trying my best to understand that, but I'm at a complete loss. I'm not sure if I can move past this. All the guests have been informed of the postponement. Some questioned why, but I've been vague. I'm just too embarrassed. I feel bad for the guests too. Some with limited means already booked flights and hotels and took time off work for our wedding. That's how far we were in the home stretch. In some ways, it doesn't feel like my life. We were just together, wedding planning and discussing the honeymoon. The honeymoon was a surprise destination for her, some place she's always wanted to visit. Now, we're here. I don't know where to go or what the future holds. Thanks to everyone again for the support. It means a lot. Opie, if it was me, I'd be done with the relationship and I tried to move on with my life, but you make whatever decision is best for you. So here's wishing you the best, Opie. Take care and thanks for sharing. Now let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user PotentialMammoth673. Am I the a-hole for saying no to my friend for the art they gave me? So about 10 months ago, my friend gave me 3 little artwork pieces that they thought were really ugly and they hated. I absolutely adore them and I think they're very pretty, so I have them in my living room. And so I redecorated my living room and rearranged everything so I could have these paintings in a very specific spot. One day they were over and one of my friends that they hadn't met until that day was over as well. My other friend, who did not give me the artwork, looked at the pieces through Google Lens because they also liked them and wanted to get some for themselves. that friend found out that the artwork that was given to me was worth $1,000 per piece. And I said, wow, that's an insane price. So the friend who gave me the art pieces told me that I needed to give them back to him, and he started taking them off the wall, and I said, absolutely not, you gave those to me. And he started yelling at me because I wouldn't give them back. Then he says I better pay him $3,000 for all of them, and I said no because you gifted them to me almost a year ago. So he told me that he was going to call the police, and he left because me and my other friend kicked him out. Am I the a-hole for keeping them? No, OP, you're not the a-hole. The rule is simple. A gift is a gift. Once it's given, it's no longer theirs. Your friend willingly gave them to you, even saying they hated them. So demanding them back or threatening you over their sudden worth isn't just petty, it's disrespectful. You didn't steal them, and you've treasured them even before knowing how much they were worth. You always thought they were pretty. I'm pretty sure if the roles were reversed, they wouldn't be so quick to hand them over. So stand your ground, OP. Their regret doesn't entitle them to break boundaries or rewrite history. Not the a-hole. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. No Function 223 says, not the a-hole. Your friend is for pricing your paintings though. That felt somewhat inappropriate in my opinion. All About Bird says, not the a-hole. Assuming your friend has internet access, they could have looked up the price of the art before they gave it to you. Now it's too late. Too bad for them. The Dread Pirate Jeff says, not the a-hole. I mean, really, your friend should have been cognizant of the value of what he was giving away a year ago when he gave them away. Not your problem. The police won't do anything either. It's a civil matter. He could sue you, but that won't fly either since it was something he freely gave to you and only wanted it back after the fact when he realized their monetary value. Wayward Painter says, not the a-hole. He gave you a gift. He relinquished ownership. Also, how tacky is that your friend to look up how expensive your home decoration is? Get better friends. And Utop Artichoke 5020 says, not the a-hole in any way. Your friend is a real a-hole. He said that they were ugly and that he hated the pieces. That's why he gave them to you. They are a lot more attractive to him now that he knows their value. Too bad for him that he didn't check that out before giving them to you. I am curious, how did they come into his possession that he had no idea about their worth? And Dopey responds, they were gifted to him by a relative. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. So, funny thing happened. The other friend who priced them also looked up something they also gave me and realized the price of it. So both of these friends were wanting their stuff back. So today I am planning on just giving them the art pieces and the other items that both have given me over the past few years. It's really disheartening to have to go through this, but dealing with this drama is worse than just redoing my living room and getting rid of the things that they gave me back to them. The friend who looked up the price of what they gave me and said that they were just lending me the items, even though I have written proof that they were given to me. So both friends are going to be acquaintances from now on. Life's weird. Final update. So another funny thing happened. Both of them met up to go hang out because they both made me the common enemy. I did give back the other things to the second friend, but I do have the artwork pieces due to me giving them a couch around the same time that was worth $2,000. The artwork is being appraised currently. One of my siblings' friend's girlfriend appraises artwork. A weird lineup, but we're figuring that out now. She came and grabbed the pieces about 11 a.m. today. For some reason, I feel like this art is not going to be worth $3,000 in total. Honestly, life isn't worth this stress, so I'm just gonna take it a loss and move forward. Well, P, I actually think you won a lot more than you potentially think you might have lost, which you still don't know. but you cleaned out with two people that truly did not deserve to be called friends, so good for you on that one. So here's wishing you the best, OP, and thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.